pack. So you can see right here, this bedrock starts right there. So that's where the gravel's above that and bedrock's below that, and that's where the majority of the gold sits.
For more than a decade, Gold Rush has captivated millions of viewers worldwide. What began as a simple reality show about men chasing fortune in the Alaskan wilderness soon became one of Discovery Channel's most watched programs, turning ordinary miners into household names. Fans tuned in not only for the thrill of gold mining, but also for the drama, hardships, and personal journeys of the miners who staked everything on the dream of striking it rich. From the very beginning, audiences connected with the struggles of Todd Hoffman, the leadership of Parker Schnabel, the resilience of Tony Beets, and the determination of Rick Ness. Their triumphs were celebrated. Their failures felt like shared heartbreaks, and their risk-filled adventures kept fans on the edge of their seats. These weren't just characters on a screen. They were real people risking livelihoods, reputations, and relationships in the pursuit of gold. But now, years later, the question many loyal viewers ask is simple. Where are they now? Some of the stars have continued mining with bigger ambitions. Others have stepped back from the spotlight, and a few have faced personal battles far away from the cameras. The gold they chased may have shaped their destinies, but the true treasure lies in the lessons learned and the legacies they built along the way. In this documentary, we look beyond the excavators, the dirt, and the glitter of gold to uncover the real stories of the miners who became reality TV icons. From soaring success to heartbreaking setbacks, here's how the stars of Gold Rush are doing today, and the truth may surprise you. When Gold Rush first aired in 2010, it was Todd Hoffman who stood at the center of the story. A man with no mining background but a burning dream, Todd convinced friends and family to risk everything and head to Alaska in search of fortune. His rough beard, booming voice, and almost reckless optimism became the spark that ignited the series. For many fans, Hoffman was the symbol of hope, the idea that ordinary people could take extraordinary risks in pursuit of a better life. But Todd's journey wasn't easy. His mining seasons were often marked by mechanical breakdowns, missed goals, and financial struggles. Still, his ability to rally his crew and keep pushing forward made him a central figure in the series. He became known for his faith, his stubborn determination, and his willingness to embrace failure as part of the process. By 2018, however, Todd announced his departure from Gold Rush. After 8 seasons of ups and downs, he stepped away from the cameras to spend more time with his family and to explore new ventures. For fans, it was the end of an era. The man who had brought them into the world of modern-day gold mining was walking away, leaving behind countless questions about what would come next. Life after Gold Rush was far from quiet for Hoffman. He launched a new mining operation in Oregon with his father, Jack Hoffman, and his son, Hunter. Though less publicized, this project showed Todd returning to his roots, focusing on family, community, and the dream of finding gold together. At the same time, he began pursuing other passions, including a music career that surprised many of his fans. His soulful voice and heartfelt songs revealed another side of the man once known only as a rugged dreamer in the Alaskan wild. In recent years, Todd returned to television with a spin-off series, Hoffman Family Gold. This show gave fans a closer look at his family's continuing adventures in mining, highlighting the generational aspect of their work. For Todd, the new chapter wasn't just about the gold itself. It was about legacy, about showing his children and grandchildren the value of persistence, teamwork, and faith. Still, life has brought challenges. The mining industry is unforgiving, and Todd has faced more than his share of setbacks. From equipment breakdowns to fluctuating gold prices, his road remains difficult. Yet, true to form, Hoffman hasn't let hardship dim his determination. He remains a man of conviction, guided by his belief that perseverance, faith, and family matter more than fleeting riches. Today, Todd Hoffman may not command the same spotlight he once did on Gold Rush, but his influence on the show's legacy is undeniable. He was the pioneer, the man who dared to dream big and inspired countless others to follow along. For fans, his story is both a reminder of the risks of chasing fortune and a testament to the power of never giving up. If Todd Hoffman was the dreamer who started it all, Parker Schnabel quickly became the face of the show's future. When audiences were first introduced to him, Parker was just a teenager working under his grandfather, John Schnabel, a legendary miner and beloved figure on Gold Rush. Viewers watched as this quiet, sharp-eyed kid learned the ropes of mining from one of the most respected men in the industry. What no one could have predicted was just how quickly Parker would rise to become one of the most successful miners in modern television history. Parker took over Big Nugget, mine after his grandfather's health declined, and almost immediately, he proved himself capable of running operations far beyond his years. By the time he was in his early 20s, Parker was already outpacing seasoned miners, producing gold totals that stunned fans and competitors alike. His focus, discipline, and business-minded approach made him a standout. Where others took risks fueled by hope, Parker operated with precision, strategy, and relentless drive. Over the seasons, audiences watched Parker evolve from a young apprentice into a powerful leader. His crew respected him not because of his age, but because of his results. He was often hard on his workers, demanding excellence, but his success rate spoke for itself. Under his leadership, the Schnabel operation consistently pulled in millions of dollars worth of gold, season after season, making him one of the most profitable miners on the show. Still, Parker's journey hasn't been without challenges. His intense focus on mining often came at the expense of his personal life. Relationships were strained, and fans saw glimpses of a young man struggling to balance ambition with emotional connection. Even so, Parker rarely let distractions pull him away from his ultimate goal, building an empire that would honor his grandfather's legacy while carving out his own. After John Schnabel's passing in 2016, Parker became even more determined to carry on the family name in mining. His grandfather's influence was clear in his work ethic and his respect for the land. For Parker, mining wasn't just about profit. It was about continuing a tradition of perseverance, ingenuity, and grit. Today, Parker remains at the heart of Gold Rush. Now in his 30s, he has expanded operations far beyond Alaska, exploring mining opportunities across North America and even internationally. His ability to adapt to changing markets and pursue larger, more complex projects has made him a standout not just on television, but within the mining industry itself. Financially, Parker has done extraordinarily well, with his net worth estimated in the tens of millions. But beyond the numbers, what makes his story compelling is how he has grown up in front of the cameras. Fans have witnessed his mistakes, his triumphs, and his evolution from a teenager chasing gold to a respected leader commanding massive operations. For many, Parker Schnabel embodies the spirit of Gold Rush, a mix of ambition, discipline, and raw determination. He may have started as the kid everyone underestimated, but today he stands as proof that youth, when matched with focus and hard work, can achieve extraordinary success. Among all the miners featured on Gold Rush, few have made as strong an impression as Tony Beets. Known for his thick Dutch accent, fiery temper, and larger-than-life personality, Tony quickly earned the nickname the King of Klondike. Unlike many of his fellow miners, Tony brought decades of real mining experience to the show, giving audiences a glimpse of what it truly takes to survive and thrive in one of the world's harshest environments. From the beginning, Tony stood out as both a mentor and a competitor. He wasn't chasing a dream the way Todd Hoffman was, nor was he learning the ropes like Parker Schnabel. Tony was already a seasoned veteran, with a reputation in the Yukon for tackling ambitious projects that others wouldn't dare attempt. His decision to buy and restore massive dredges, a form of old-school mining technology, was proof of his vision. While many dismissed the idea as outdated, Tony showed that with determination and ingenuity, even the riskiest ventures could pay off. Fans loved watching Tony's operations, not only because of his bold ideas, but also because of the dynamic within his family. His wife, Minnie, became the calm and pragmatic voice of reason, often managing the business side of things while Tony focused on mining. Their children, Monica, Kevin, and Mike, played active roles in the operation, making the Beets family one of the most fascinating aspects of the show. Viewers admired how Tony balanced being both a demanding boss and a devoted father, shaping the next generation of miners under his own roof. But Tony's road hasn't always been smooth. His aggressive style and stubborn personality often led to conflicts, with fellow miners, with his own crew, and even with local authorities. Environmental regulations and legal battles occasionally slowed his progress, and his temper sometimes got the best of him. Yet through it all, Tony remained unapologetically himself. Fans may not have always agreed with his methods, but they respected his determination and relentless pursuit of success. Over the years, Tony has built one of the most successful mining operations in the Yukon, consistently pulling in massive gold hauls. His willingness to invest in large-scale equipment and push the limits of what's possible has solidified his place as one of the most successful miners in the series. Even Parker Schnabel, despite occasional clashes, has acknowledged Tony's skill and influence in the industry. Today, Tony Beats continues to mine on a scale few others can match. His family remains deeply involved in the business, ensuring that the Beats legacy will continue for years to come. Financially, he has done extraordinarily well with his net worth estimated in the tens of millions. But for Tony, it has never been about the money alone. It has always been about the challenge, the thrill of taking on massive projects and proving, time and again, that he can succeed where others might fail. For fans, Tony Beats represents the raw, uncompromising spirit of the mining world. He is tough, resourceful, and willing to risk everything for the chance at striking it big. Love him or hate him, there is no denying that Tony has earned his title as the King of Klondike. And his story continues to inspire and intimidate miners across the globe. When Rick Ness first appeared on Gold Rush, he wasn't a miner at all. A former musician and athlete, Rick joined Parker Schnabel's crew with little to no experience, eager to learn and willing to put in the hard work. Fans immediately connected with his quiet determination and loyalty, and over the seasons he became one of Parker's most trusted right-hand men. But Rick wasn't destined to remain in the shadows forever. His journey from crew member to independent mine boss became one of the most compelling storylines in the show's history. Rick took a leap of faith when he struck out on his own. Leaving Parker's operation meant stepping into a world filled with financial risks, leadership challenges, and the constant pressure to prove himself. His first season as a mine boss was filled with growing pains, equipment breakdowns, limited resources, and the heavy burden of leading his own team. Yet, despite the odds, Rick managed to achieve success, showing that he had the grit and resilience to carve out his own path in the mining industry. For a while, things looked promising. Rick's operation pulled in respectable gold totals, and he earned respect not just as a former crew member, but as a boss in his own right. However, as fans soon saw, the weight of responsibility began to take a toll. Financial struggles, setbacks in mining, and personal challenges outside of work began to affect him. By the later seasons, Rick's absence from the show became a major talking point, with many fans speculating about his future in mining and on television. Rick eventually revealed that he had been dealing with personal issues, including mental health struggles, financial difficulties, and the loss of his mother, a heartbreaking event that deeply affected him. Stepping away from the cameras was not about abandoning mining, but about finding the strength to rebuild himself. His openness about these struggles resonated with fans, who admired his honesty and vulnerability in a world that often glorifies toughness above all else. Despite these setbacks, Rick has shown signs of a comeback. Reports suggest he has been working on getting his life back on track, with renewed focus on mining and the possibility of returning to Gold Rush in some capacity. His story is far from over, and for many fans, his resilience is just as inspiring as his early success. Today, Rick Ness stands as one of the most relatable figures from the Gold Rush series. Unlike Parker or Tony, who built empires, Rick's journey has been about survival, perseverance, and personal growth. He represents the reality that success is never a straight line. It comes with struggles, failures, and the courage to start over when life knocks you down. For viewers, Rick's story is a reminder that the heart of Gold Rush has always been about more than gold. It's about the people, their dreams, their losses, their triumphs, and their resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Rick Ness may not always strike it rich, but he has earned something far more valuable: the respect and empathy of fans who see in him the courage to keep fighting, even when the odds seem impossible.